Greetings here. This is Wyvernful Gaming, and today we're going to talk about the AAA gaming industry and the tech industry. So, we need to talk about the tech and AAA gaming industry. I'm sure you're aware of all sorts of ways the gaming, video streaming, and social media industry have been screwing people over. Whether it's the YouTube adpocalypse, the PSN Helldivers drama, the Mojang Microsoft chat reporting incident, Facebook privacy issues, or any number of other things. Well, I'll list for you a long list of things that these industries have done wrong, and then describe ways we should all protest against them, and goals to compensate with it. I will list you a long list of these things these industries have done wrong, and then I will describe ways we should all protest against them and goals to compensate protests. Lots of users of the internet should no longer be exploited by megacorps that ruin the internet for everyone. So, examples of these things these tech industries have done. Microsoft and Mojang completely removing server autonomy of Minecraft and then retroactively putting down thousands of impossible to follow rules that result in the banning of almost the entire population of Minecraft and making servers unplayable, then deleting millions of accounts without warning or refund over the end of a grace period they didn't even announce to the public, unrelated to the bans. They're also coming after mods, although they haven't enforced that much yet. In fact, a quote from Microsoft moderators: 100 falsely perma-banned users is one better than one non-banned troll. So yeah, Microsoft and Mojang are screwed up. Cue the sound effects. Then you're seeing what Sony's been doing to all us internet users, forcing everyone to link a PSN account on PC or get banned, then deleting the accounts of everyone in countries that don't have PSN access / PlayStation being regionally censored. Keep in mind this is done 3 months after release, no advance warning whatsoever, and no refunds. Also, there are unconfirmed reports they may be surveilling their customers en masse with webcam hacking and biometric surveillance. But as they don't want to spread misinformation, I will point out that this hasn't been proven or disproven yet. The surveillance part, the former stuff has been and is well known. Then there's the stuff YouTube's been doing, censoring their site so heavily that in their extremely overkill policies to combat various terms of service violation, that self-expression and monetized content are both pretty much dead, and free speech is heavily suppressed. And on both sides, not just conservative, not even just politically stuff, totally apolitical stuff being shut down. It has nothing to do with party lines. The censorship overall is also a huge problem, as YouTube's basically just turning into the radio as far as it's actually allowed in the site. It's messed up. Then there's the other thing Twitch is... So yeah, and... And then there's Twitch, which had same issue as YouTube, but worse. Way worse, in every way. Plus, they literally sue their own customers for stuff that wouldn't even get you perma-banned on YouTube, and ban you over stuff you did on other websites or in person. This is ridiculous. And not even in just extreme cases, just all the time. So yeah, yikes. Then there's the whole Twitter debacle. Thanks to Elon Musk, that whole website is a right-wing dumpster fire that's not only full of racist and anti-Semitic hate speech that's allowed and unpunished by the CEO, but also so the CEO is not doing anything about it and allowing it. But Twitter is also changing the TOS almost every day and bans anyone for someone who's breathing the wrong way. Yeah, we all know what Elon Musk did to Twitter /X. R.I.P. Twitter. It was nice knowing you. And then there's the injustice of the Rockstar Games, completely and chronically failing to stop hackers and cheaters from overrunning GTA Online, even after almost a decade of trying, to the point where GTA Online is so full of hackers that entering a public lobby will give you malware, and the game is unplayable due to public lobbies exploiting respondent explosions and hacks due to hackers 24/7. And then they just decide one day to remove 95% of the vehicles from the game permanently for no reason. Also a huge problem with false positive bans that don't even get to any of the real hackers at all. Then there's Facebook. You know that. The motive of Facebook, destroying privacy one user at a time. Yeah, that's pretty common knowledge, with privacy is a joke from that site. Don't forget the extreme lack of self-expression, despite overall being a nightmare to navigate. Mostly their privacy sucks. Then Bethesda, the whole debacle involving paid mods and making certain Fallout games requiring you pay them thousands of dollars for the type of content that a few mods add for free. If you want to know more detail, just look up the whole thing with the paid mods fiasco there. Also screws over modders in various different ways, not limited to surprise update to Fallout 4, which was already announced as completed many years ago, that broke tens of thousands of mods forever in every mod save game, which is the majority of the player base, despite having underwhelming content. Don't forget Fallout 76, and the whole complete train wreck that multiplayer game was infamous for, due to Bethesda sucking at running an MMO. Plenty of other stuff, especially false advertising. Tons of false advertising. Yikes. Fallout 76. Then there's Paradox. They update their games practically every 6 minutes and make you spend a fortune in DLC cost. That's fine if you don't mod it and you can afford the DLCs. But my god, if you're modding, prepare to suffer, because the updates break the mods for months on end almost every day. Also, Paradox games are very prone to crashing. Very prone to crashing, so keep that in mind. Then there's Ubisoft, which has terms of service almost as insane as Sony and Microsoft, and will ban plenty of non-offending players by accident under false pretenses. They're full of tracking cookies and privacy issues, and account recovery is almost impossible to the point where it's barely even worth trying. Customer support sucks. Typical other AAA gaming problems, other skeletons in their closet, but I don't have time to get into that. Then there's Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. Yikes. They were trying to pass it in 2023 an OGL that would make it basically illegal and punishable by lawsuit and blacklisting to Dungeon Master in any way other than about 8 prepackaged modules the way Wizards of the Coast tells you to DM. The whole original game license incident 2023. Also, it resulted in a DMCA takedown of all D&D award and podcast channels that passed. Thankfully, that didn't get passed due to public backlash, but it shows you can never trust them. Also, they sicked the freaking Pinkertons on a fan for something that the fan wasn't even aware of. My god. Then there was the whole issue with Escape from Tarkov and Battlestate games recently, where the dev team for Escape from Tarkov makes players pay $250 for a DLC that they said was cheaper than they false advertise even more and pulled existing content from the game retroactively that people pay tons of money for without warning, refund, or precedent. My god. Not to mention tons of other tech streaming social media and AAA gaming companies are and have been doing similar and will do even more that people don't speak out a whole lot more. So yeah, that's the idea of the dumpster fire we're in. So since the tech industry is screwing people over this much, I would say activism in the form of many peaceful protests is needed. And I don't just mean reviews or complaining in forums. I mean genuine large-scale protests in person and not simply isolated to incidents, but a large movement dedicated to saving the internet from the dumpster fire that Megacorp's put it into. I would call such a movement the Netizens Liberations Movement, or NTLM, and I encourage you to join by protesting in the ways provided below. Don't stop protesting until all the demands are met and the internet is completely safe from corporate greed. The Helldivers 2 community managed to protest them successfully, therefore, so should you all. So here are some strategies you could use to protest against the tech industry. Marches, rallies, sit-ins, leaving a ton of bad reviews, also known as review bombing, protesting on YouTube and other video streaming sites and blogs, lawsuits, but only when possible. Watch out for arbitration clauses because it's impossible to do a lawsuit when that's in effect. Mass refunding, in-person protests in general, raising awareness, civil disobedience, petitions, picketing, boycotts, demonstrations, both in person and offline, motorcades, organizing protests, pressuring politicians to make changes through petitions and letters, protest songs, die-ins, occupations, making flags with corporate logos and burning them. We need to make that point after all. Encouraging it in, and if Also, if the company is exploiting their workers, I'm sorry, but we need to encourage any mistreated employees to strike and unionize if they're doing that. It's just the right thing to do. We should do protest art, finding out things the tech companies did and calling them out on it, telling politicians to get our legal goals passed, which see below. So here are the goals I think us the users should get accomplished to prevent tech companies from completely ruining the internet. Goal number 1. So these are just my ideas. Feel free to suggest additional ones or criticize existing ones. Social media being declared a utility. Number 2. Regulations being put on businesses to prevent them from scamming people, suppressing free speech, or spying on people, or otherwise exploiting them. Goal number 3. Reinstate net neutrality. Goal number 4. New amendment being added to the U.S. Constitution to counter free speech censorship, scams, privacy breaches, forcing unfair/dishonest terms of service and false advertising, while declaring arbitration unconstitutional, making the First Amendment and to no longer consider mega corporations as a private entity. Because let's be honest, there's no way that common sense would dictate that you would put a mega corporation on the same level as an individual. Pass other goals. Pass similar legislation globally. Abolish arbitration. Achieve the goal of passing various legislation to prevent corporations from censoring the internet. Making either the Constitution, a Constitution, or some form of universal human rights apply to the internet, and not just have megacorps control everything with iron fist. We should break up the monopolies and establish antitrust around tech, social media, video streaming, and AAA gaming companies. We should abolish non-competitive agreements and NDAs entirely across all industries. Continue to protest against tech companies anytime they try to do something really messed up, like the things listed above, such as the whole issue with Helldivers 2. I think we should improve worker conditions and legalize unions, alter copyright laws to prevent them from being used for the sole intention of silencing free speech and fair use, such as when it was clearly fair use in public domain and not eligible for being taken down. Or quite a few cases I remember where DMCAs were abused to suppress civil rights. One example that I've heard about in the news. Yikes! That one. So, and then I think we should take a stand against any government censorship of the internet, such as what's happening in China, Russia, and the Middle East, and work to abolish that government censorship. I think we should convince the U.S. government to unban TikTok. And if we manage to accomplish all of the above and complete all of that successfully, we should use our protest to push to establish a UN resolution, treaty, or other international decisions to keep the global legislation passed from being rolled back once the legislation protecting the internet is passed across most of the world. Also, demand that anyone banned from websites for taking part in this very movement I'm calling for gets unbanned, provided the ban is in clear violation of free speech and no legitimate reason. So yeah, this is a call to action to peacefully speak out against the injustices of the tech industry, whether it's AAA gaming, ISP, social media, video streaming, or any other case. Down with Sony! Down with Facebook! Down with YouTube! Down with Twitter X! Down with Rockstar! Down with Bethesda! And down with Microsoft for Mojang! Protest now! The netizens' liberation movement starts today! So yeah, let's start readying the protest and show these megacorps that we won't tolerate their injustice anymore. This is Wyvernfall Gaming signing out.